So now we are going to discuss a topic about inverse of a function. Inverse of a function. First we'll discuss about inverse of a function, then we'll discuss about inverse of a trigonometric function. Now what does a function mean? See, function is nothing but a polynomial which may be in x, or it may be in y, or which may be in z. For example, if f of x is equal to some x minus 2, f of x is equal to x minus 2. Okay, normally if you plot the graph between f of x and x minus 2 by taking the values on x and y axis, for example, what will be the value of this function at x is equal to 0? What will be the value of this function at x is equal to 0? Minus 2. That means at x is equal to 0, the value of this function is minus 2. That means it will be on the negative y axis, minus 1, minus 2, like that. So this will be the point. Now at x is equal to 1, the value is minus 1. That means at x is equal to 1, the value is minus 1. At x is equal to 2, the value is 0. 2 minus 2, the value is 0. That means if we draw a graph for this function at x is equal to 0, the value is minus 2. At x is equal to 1, the value is minus 1. At x is equal to 2, the value is 0. Now this is a straight line. This is a straight line. This is a straight line. Because x minus 2 is a linear function. It is not a quadratic function, it is a linear function. Okay, so linear function, if you draw a plot, if you plot a graph for linear function, it will be a straight line. Now if you draw a plot, if you plot a graph for quadratic function, it will be a parabola. Now since this is a linear function, the graph will be straight line. Now here I am not bothered about the graph, or I am neither bothered about the function or nothing like that. Okay, now here for different values of x, we are getting different values of function which is taken on y axis, remember this point. For different values of x, we are getting different values of the function. That means for x is equal to 0, we are getting the function value as minus 2. Where we are taking that minus 2? On the y axis. And for x is equal to 1, the value is 1 minus 2 minus 1. So function is minus 1. Where we are taking the value of function? On the y axis. Okay, that means when we want to compare two variables, one is plotted on the x axis and the whole function value is taken on the y axis. Now this f of x can be written as y is equal to x minus 2. Okay, remember here f of x is taken as y. F of x is taken as y. Why we are taking f of x as y? Because we are plotting the value on y axis. So let f of x is equal to y. Y is equal to x minus 2. If y is equal to x minus 2, then write equation for x. So minus 2, if it comes to this side, it will become plus 2. Y plus 2 is equal to x. If y plus 2 is equal to x, then x is equal to y plus 2, right? Y plus 2 is equal to x, that means x is equal to y plus 2, right? And this is inverse of the function. How? I'll explain you why. If f of x is equal to y, now if this function goes to that side, it will become inverse. So x is equal to f inverse of y. X is equal to f inverse of y. So what we got the value of x? Y plus 2. That means f inverse of y is y plus 2. Right? It will be very simple. If I explain you one more example. So find inverse of the function. Find inverse of the function f of x is equal to 2x minus 3. F of x is equal to 2x minus 3. the first and foremost point which you have to keep in mind before finding inverse of any function, be it be a linear function, be it be or exponential function, be it be a trigonometric function, the first and foremost point before solving inverse of a function is to equate this f of x to y. F of x is equal to y. That means y is equal to 2x minus 3. Right? If you put f of x as y, it will become y is equal to 2x minus 3. Now you have to write the function in terms of y. Okay, see here, that means you have to write the equation for x. Now y is equal to 2x minus 3. You need to write equation for x. That means x should be alone. So if minus 3, if it is sent to this side, it will become y plus 3 is equal to 2x. Y plus 3 by 2 is equal to x. That means x is equal to y plus 3 by 2. Now what is x here? If f of x is equal to y, x will become f inverse of y. Is that right? If f of x is equal to y, I need to write only equation for x. This function, if it goes to that side, will become f inverse of y. So we got x is equal to y plus 3 by 2. X means f inverse of y is equal to y plus 3 by 2. Therefore, f inverse of x will be x plus 3 by 2. Okay. I'll explain you this point. See, if f of x is equal to some x square plus x plus 2, what will be the value of f of 1? We have to replace x with 1. So it will become 1 square plus 1 plus 2, which will become 4. Now, if f of x is equal to this function, what will be the value of f of 2? 2 square plus 2 plus 2, whatever it may be, you will get some 8. Now, if f of x is equal to again this function, what will be the f of value y? Y square plus y plus 2. That means a function is always varying quantity. Whatever, if we substitute the value of x, it will become that value. Okay. Now here we got the value of f inverse of y as y plus 3 by 2. Now I need to find inverse function in terms of x. So I just have to replace with x plus 3 by 2. Remember one thing, if you want to find inverse of a function, you need to equate that function to y. Okay. Then you have to write the equation in terms of x. Now I will give one more example. Find inverse of a function 3x plus 5. What you have to do? For the first step is equating f of x to y. So now put y here. So y is equal to 3x plus 5. Now we should write equation for x. That means we have to isolate x. Remaining all terms should be sent to that side. So this plus 5, if it goes to that side, it will become y minus 5 is equal to 3x. Y minus 5 by 3 is equal to x. Now x is equal to y minus 5 by 3. What is x here? F inverse of y. Because if f of x is equal to y, x will become f inverse of y. That means f inverse of y is equal to y minus 5 by 3. Similarly, f inverse of x is equal to x minus 5 by 3. So this is how we will find inverse of a function. Now if you apply same concept to trigonometry, for example, if I want to find sine inverse of a function of sine, what I have to do? First, I need to write the question. The function is sine x. I need to find inverse of this function. That means I have to equate this f of x with y. So y is equal to sine x. Now what I have to do? I need to write equation for x here. Now this sine, if it goes to that side, it will become sine inverse. So sine inverse of y is equal to x. Inverse means if a given function is in terms of x, we will change in terms of y. Okay, and we'll find inverse of a function. Now very basic, with this basics we'll discuss about the inverse of function. Let me tell about the values here. Now it's very simple, no need to do all these hectic things. Let me explain you with the example here. Now we know that sin 30 value is 1 by 2. Now this sine, if it goes to that side, or applying sine inverse on both sides, applying sine inverse on both sides, applying sine inverse on both sides, that means sine inverse of sine 30 is equal to sine inverse of 1 by 2. So sine inverse sine gets cancelled, 30 degrees is equal to sine inverse of 1 by 2. That means sine inverse of 1 by 2 value is 30. See, very simple. Normal functions, angle will be given in degrees, you will get the value in number. For example, sine 30 1 by 2, sine 45 1 by root 2, sine 90 1. In inverse trigonometric functions, here you are given the value and you are supposed to find the value answer in degrees. Okay, now tell me the value of angle for this function. At which angle sine will become 1 by root 2? 45 degrees. Okay, sine 45 is 1 by root 2. Now in the same way we will find all the values of the given functions here. Now see here, very simple. Tan inverse of 1. Okay, tan inverse of 1. Now where is my pointer? Tan inverse of 1 is very simple. The answer is 45 degrees. Okay, the answer is 45 degrees. Now this is very important. Tan inverse of minus root 3. See, this thing, like what you have said, can be written as two ways. Now as I told you yesterday, in yesterday's class, except cos and secant, remaining all are odd functions. That means minus symbol will be there. For example, sine of minus x will be minus sin x, tan of minus x will be minus tan x. But whereas for cos and secant, even though the function is cos of minus x, it will be cos x only, no minus will be carried out. The reason being is, I told you yesterday, because they are even functions, Now see here, for tan, minus I have to put, so it will become minus tan inverse of root 3, minus tan inverse of root 3. Now what is the value, at which angle tan will become root 3? 60. So it will become minus 60 degrees. But minus 60 degrees will make no sense in the mathematics. See, angles are always measured in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, that means angle should be only positive. We cannot take the values in terms of negative. Now what I have to do? Very simple, very simple. See here, now you have to tell me in which quadrant tan will become negative. In which quadrant tan will become negative? We have the mnemonic called all silver teacups. All means first quadrant all ratios are positive, second quadrant sine is positive, third quadrant tan is positive, fourth quadrant cos is positive. So tan is positive in third quadrant, and in first quadrant all are positive. So in first and third, tan is positive. In second and fourth, tan is negative. Tan is negative. Why? In second quadrant, sine is positive, tan will become negative. Similarly, in fourth quadrant, cos is positive, tan will become negative. So I can write this tan inverse of minus root 3 as tan inverse of 180. Sorry, 180 should be written outside, okay, because it is not trigonometry, inverse trigonometrical. Okay, so I can write this tan inverse of minus root 3 as 180 degrees minus tan inverse of root 3. Okay, because 180 minus theta, which quadrant? Second quadrant. In second quadrant, is tan positive or negative? Negative. So that will make sense. Okay. So the answer is 180 minus tan inverse of root 3, 60. So the answer is 120. Got my point? Okay. So angle cannot be taken as negative. So that's why we have to predict that in which quadrant tan will be negative, second or fourth. Okay. So you can take both the answers, but I am taking here second quadrant. Okay. Now in the same way, tell me the answer for this question. Sin inverse of minus root 3 by 2. Sin inverse of minus root 3 by 2. Now before going to the problem, first of all we have to remove the minus symbol. Now tell me in which quadrant sin is negative? Third and fourth. Because in first quadrant all are positive, second quadrant all silver, means sin is positive. In third and fourth, sin is negative. And what is the nature of third quadrant? It is 180 plus theta. So I can write this sin inverse of minus root 3 by 2 as 180 plus sin inverse of root 3 by 2. Minus we have to remove now. Minus, by removing minus only we have put this value 180 plus. Now 180 plus sin inverse of root 3 by 2 is 60 degrees. So that will become 240. That means sin inverse of minus root 3 by 2 is 240. Now you can cross check with the help of scientific calculator. Here I am checking the value. Sin inverse, first of all I will find the value of sin, 240 minus root 3 by 2. Okay. Now I can directly guess the answer. Sin inverse kada. So shift sin inverse minus root 3 by 2. So minus 60, but we should not take minus 60. It will be 240. Okay. So 240 minus root 3 by 2. Okay. So like that we have to find the values. Now cos inverse of minus 1. Okay. Now it is very simple. I told you earlier, cos cannot be negative. So I can take directly as cos inverse of 1. Or to be more precise, cos, in which quadrant cos will become negative? Second and third. Okay. Now what is the nature of second quadrant? 180 minus theta. Third quadrant 180 plus theta. You can take both. Okay. So now cos inverse of minus 1 can be written as 180 minus cos inverse of 1. 180 minus, what is the value of cos inverse of 1? At which value cos will become 1? 0. Cos 0. So the answer is 180. Even if you take 180 plus, why? Cos is negative in second quadrant and third quadrant. Second quadrant the profile is 180 minus. Third quadrant the profile is 180 plus. Even though the answer will be same. 180 plus cos inverse of 1. 180 plus 0. 180 only. Okay. Now see here. Tan inverse of root 3 by 3 is positive only, no negative. So no need to do all these things. Okay. Directly we can guess the value. But is there any value such as root 3 by 3 in tan? No. We got the values of tan 0 as 0, tan 30 as 1 by root 3, tan 45 as 1, tan 60 as root 3, tan 90 as undefined. But if you observe carefully, root 3 and denominator 3 can be written as root 3 times root 3, right? So one root 3 gets cancelled. Finally the answer is 1 by root 3. That means tan inverse of 1 by root 3. Very good. The answer is 30. Now if I want to express the value in terms of radians, I need to multiply with pi by 180. So 30 into pi by 180. So 31s are 36 are pi by 6. That is very simple. If you want to convert the value in terms of radians to degrees, you have to put pi as 180. If you want to convert degrees to radians, you have to multiply with pi by 180. Pi by 180. Clear? Now see this question. Sine inverse of minus root 2 by 2. Again minus is coming. That means sine is negative in which quadrant? Third and fourth. Okay, because all first is positive for all silver. That means in second quadrant sine is positive. In third quadrant sine is negative. So I will take the value as 180 plus sine inverse of root 2 by 2. 2 I can write as root 2 into root 2, right? So on root 2 root cancel. So 180 plus 1 by root 2. Sine 1 by root 2, sine inverse of 1 by root 2 is 45. So the answer is 225. Similarly, you can do this question. 180 minus cos inverse of 1 by 2. Cos 1 by 2, when it will come? Cos 60. So 180 minus 60, 120. Okay. So yeah, it's very simple. And in next class we'll discuss about domain ranges. Okay, so this is how we'll find the values of all the inverse trigonometric functions. Trigonometry is directly finding the values of trigonometric ratios at certain angles, tan 30, tan 45, cos 60. But inverse trigonometry means we have to predict the value of angle from the given answer. Okay, so both are same. If you want to, if you can understand one thing, you can understand second concept. Okay.